ครับ Good evening and a very warm welcome to Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Subhajan Kunswan. Executives of the transport company will be granting 700,000 baht in compensation to each of the 10 fatalities who died after the Got Samui-bound tour bus were traveling in struck an electricity pole and overturned. 17 other wounded passengers are now safe. Doctors and nurses are continuing to provide medical attention to the wounded passengers of the overturned Bangkok Got Phangan Line tour bus. Earlier today, the vehicle crashed into an electricity pole in Kanchanaburi district, killing 10 and injuring 17. 2 of the deceased were from India and the rest were all Thais, including the driver. The other wounded passengers are now safe. Police revealed that the wrecked tour bus blew a tire while heading to Got Samui, an island popular among Thai and foreign tourists. The Surat Thani Provincial Administration and the Tourism Authority of Thailand will assist in returning the dead back to their homes. Additionally, executives of the transport company will compensate the family of each fatality with 700,000 baht, while offering another 30,000 baht for the funeral costs. Wounded passengers will receive 10,000 baht in compensation, and all medical expenses will be reimbursed until the victims are fully recovered. Meanwhile, tomorrow, Wutichat Kalyanamit, CEO of the transport company, will be inspecting the scene of the accident. The CEO, however, confirmed that the quality of the tour bus, saying that it had only been in operation for a year and 3 months, had been driven for only 260 kilometers. Its tires were scheduled for an overhaul after 500,000 kilometers. And the Prime Minister is now worried about the water management program nationwide being behind schedule and has now got hands-on in managing water management infrastructure programs by herself. Meanwhile, the MPs would like the weather studied by the Ministry of Science and Technology, but there is still no budget available.
The Cabinet has agreed that the information research project on the formation of clouds, deforestation, and pollution by industry to be overseen by the Ministry of Science and Technology will indeed be useful for disaster prediction. Yet, the Cabinet still has not yet given the green light or allocated any budget for the proposed 200 million baht research project. Earlier this evening, Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra met with the Committee on Water and Flood Management to follow up on the water management situation and found out that some flood prevention projects located in watershed areas have been delayed since June. The Prime Minister hinted that if the projects do not catch up, she will manage the projects herself. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has indicated that yesterday's meeting with the Army commander did not include a discussion over NASA's project, adding that the cancellation of this project will not affect the relationship between Thailand and the U.S.
More marine animals in Krabi's Bay mangrove forest continue to die after 2 weeks of being covered by bunker oil that spilled from a tanker. Locals are suggesting that illegal oil smuggling may be behind this environmental mayhem. Fish, clams, shrimp, and many other marine animals within a 10-kilometer radius of the oil leak continue to die after a massive spill of crude oil from a tanker in the area. The leak occurred after the tanker struck a submerged rock on June the 20th. Locals in the area are speculating that the oil spill resulted from illegal transportation of untaxed bunker oil, as they found that none of the factories in this area operate their machinery using bunker oil. The only facility in the area which uses bunker oil is the Krabi Power Generating Authority, yet the power generators use bunker oil purchased from PTT, which had no connections to the damaged vessel howsoever. The Constitution Drafting Assembly, the House Speaker and MPs involved in the Charter Amendment process must, at the end of this week, explain to the Constitution Court whether the Charter Amendment process will violate the Thai democratic system or not. Today, those supporting and those opposing the Charter Amendment sent more names of witnesses to the court. Representatives of people who claim that the 2012 Charter Amendment process aims to overthrow the royal institution has asked the Constitution Court to add 5 more witnesses, including Jarat Suwarnamala, Gitisak Prakati, Kyaosan Atipothi, Chatchai Phukokwai, and Surapon Nitikaipot, and also Surapon Sriwithya. All witnesses are academics who will explain how the Constitution Court's actions will not violate the Thai democratic system with the king as head of state. The Constitutional Court came under fire earlier from Pheu Thai supporters and Pheu Thai MPs after the majority of the Constitutional Court judges asked Parliament to halt the Constitution amendment process, citing the law states that only MPs and senators are allowed to amend the charter, not some elected Constitution drafting committee. Meanwhile, MPs who believe that the Constitution Court has no authority to cancel parliamentary consideration of the Charter Amendment have added the names of two more witnesses, Khanin Bunsuwan and Udomde Ratanasathian, the government chief whip. They will explain their side of the story to the court by comparing the latest Charter Amendment process with Charter Amendment processes in the past. Government MPs insist the process has no intention of overthrowing the royal institution. Opposition leader Apisit Wechachhiwa has asked all parties not to try to apply pressure to the Constitution Court. Additionally, Nathawut Saikia, Deputy Agriculture Minister and one of the key leaders of the Red Shirt movement, revealed that the Red Shirt group will only follow how the judges handle this case and insisted that they will not hold a rally to try to apply pressure to the Constitution Court. Inflation has been a cause of concern since the prices of consumer goods began to increase steadily at the end of last year. Dr. Rungtip Chonapalai spoke with Dr. Piyasak Manasan from Kiat Nakin Bank, who said that the short-term price control measures will not help. Here's more.
Because now the inflation will continue to increase,
yes.
Then the government, the policy,
yes,
all the
yes.
other measures,
yeah.
What would be the way?
One way that the government and the authority can do is that the Bank of Thailand may have to monitor inflation quite vigorously. If there's a inflation expectation or people start talking about inflation more, Bank of Thailand may have to talk tough and say that if inflation come up, they will increase the interest rate. This is one reason. The other reason is the Ministry of Commerce policy to control the price of basic products. Yeah, they have if I'm not wrong, about 300 basic products that they control. That also helps, but it is a temporary measure. In my idea, it's temporary measure. So as time goes by, the producer, their cost will goes up as well. So ministry have to relax that, and that will lead to eventually leads to the higher inflation. So I think inflation will be with us for years to come.
And following the European Union's decision to cut down on the number of beneficiaries of the Generalized System of Preferences, or GSP, the Kasikorn Research Center forecasts that this will affect almost 40% of all Thai export products to the EU. Meanwhile, the Thai Shrimp Association expressed concerns that the higher tariff will impede Thai shrimp exports to the region.
The Thai Shrimp Association reveals that shrimp that are exported to the European Union will be one of the products severely affected by higher tariffs after the EU announced a cut in the number of beneficiaries of the Generalized System of Preferences, or GSP. Fresh shrimp will now face a full tariff of 12%, while a 20% tariff will be imposed on cooked shrimp. Somsak Panitathayasai, president of the Thai Shrimp Association, indicated that after the newly revised GSP takes effect on January 1, 2014, Thai shrimp exports to the EU, which now makes up 20 to 25% of all exported shrimp to the region, could plummet to below 5%. Therefore, the government needs to introduce measures rapidly to prevent Thailand from losing out to their competitors such as Malaysia by, for example, signing a free trade agreement or FTA with the EU before the new GSP is officially imposed. The newly revised GSP aims to offer benefits to least developed nations, hence reducing the number of beneficiaries from 176 to between 75 and 80 countries. Since the World Bank classified Thailand under the upper middle income category, the country will lose its EU tariff benefits. Under the original GSP, however, Thailand was the third largest beneficiary, behind India and Bangladesh. Given the new GSP, the Kasikorn Research Center projected that on average, the prices of Thai export products will rise by roughly 2%, and that around 39% of all Thai export products to the EU will be affected.
More than a dozen political prisoners in neighboring Myanmar were reported to have been released today. Yet the democracy icon Aung San Suu Kyi says hundreds more are still behind bars and need to be released. Here's more from Hugh Adams.
The Associated Press is reporting that more than 20 of the 46 detainees granted amnesty by Myanmar's President Thein Sein were political prisoners. Yet reporters in the field could confirm only 14 had actually been freed. Despite the Human Rights Watch claim that at least 659 political prisoners were released by the Myanmar government this year, NLD leader Aung San Suu Kyi says at least 300 more political prisoners need to be released from behind bars. However, the latest action of the government is being praised by the international community.
80 prisoners have been released today. We are not quite sure how many political prisoners there are among them. And according to the NLD list, apparently there are 330 political prisoners still remaining. I used to say 271 because that was our previous number. So I think this has been readjusted in line with the information we have received. So we think there are 330 prisoners left.
Suu Kyi claims that the previous State Law and Order Restoration Council named the country Myanmar without asking public opinion, adding they should have asked the people before making such a decision. Meanwhile, following complaints from the Myanmar Election Commission that Suu Kyi should not have referred to Myanmar as Burma following her recent trips across Asia and Europe, the democracy icon says she has full rights to refer to her motherland as Burma. In the official state language, the country and the people are pronounced Myanmar, yet the distinction between the names exists in English, not in the local language. However, the term Burma connotes Burman, the dominant ethnic group in the country, to the exclusion of ethnic minorities. Hugh Adams, ThaiPBS.
And finally, a Thai folk dance show, Rung Fa Doi Sing, performed by many famous Thai folk dancers, will be held at the Thailand Cultural Center on Sunday. The earnings from ticket sales will be donated to support the Thai Culture Support Fund. Many famous Thai folk dancers are rehearsing for the really performed show Rung Fa Doi Sing. This show does not only aim to entertain the Thai folk dance fans, but also to increase Thai people's awareness of the uniqueness of Thai traditional dance. Bullert Nat Pinit, Thailand's national artist in Thai traditional performance, said that nowadays Bangkok does not have many places where Thai folk dance is performed, so many people tend to think that there are fewer Thai folk dance fans than there actually are. Sonrak Nat Pinit, a Thai folk dancer, revealed that the temple fairs in other provinces always promote Thai traditional entertainment, which is different to Bangkok, where any show has to comply with noise pollution regulations. This show, Rung Fa Doi Sing, will be performed on Sunday at the Thailand Cultural Center. Additionally, the earnings from this show's ticket sales will go to support the Thai Culture Support Fund. That's all the time we have for tonight's edition of ThaiPBS English News Service. We'll see you again tomorrow night. I'm Supajong Klinsuwan. Sawasdee krab.